nothing changed, nothing. And about 15 minutes in, he is just, I mean, you guys sweat, but he was really sweating, and you could just tell in his face that, like, and I looked at him and I'm like, are you okay? And of course, that took a while, and finally he said, no, I'm not okay. Luckily, there's a woman working out there who was a nurse, and she kind of saw that I had him go and sit down. She comes over and she's like, we need to get him down on the floor. So we got him down on the floor, and then by that time he had passed out. Well, his blood sugar had dipped so much. So of course, his wife came over and she was freaked out because she thought he was having a stroke again. And so then they called the paramedics. By the time the paramedics got there, he actually woke up, and he was so sweet. He looked at me and he goes, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm crying. No. But the worst part is an old bag, and I'm going to call her an old bag, who's working out there, walks by and goes, she worked him out so hard she killed him.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sitting here crying.
Already feel bad enough.
I know. Yes, an old, I'm sorry, just an old cranky lady. I don't like to put terms on
Curmudgeon.
people, but she just was. She just
Curmudgeon.
was. I wanted to go, if I didn't have everything in me, I was going to punch her in the face. You know, but I was a little busy at that time.
Well, he knows better.
Yeah. And so, you know, of course, you know, here's this distraught wife, and she's saying this kind of stuff. So, I mean, it was really hard, but I mean, she knew. I mean, it wasn't my fault at all, but you know, you become attached to them. So
20 people
yeah.
in the one.
And you'll get some, I mean, they're really fit seniors, but there are others that you're like, oh my gosh, you need to be in like the chair class, you know? But they're stubborn, you know, like this one woman, she really should probably not. And, you know, I had said to her, I'm like, I think you should do stuff more from the chair. Oh, I can. And I said, oh, she did something to throw him. So, yeah, I mean, and I think the hardest part with it is that you feel really, really guilty. You feel like, oh my gosh. And then, but like, then I talked to her on the phone, and she was just fine and all this sort of
And then
stuff.
that's what we recommend. If something happens, call them afterwards, follow up with them, make sure that they're okay.
Well, remember,
that
you
you're
also
doing
talked
something.
about the client's own personal responsibilities
For sure.
for themselves.
Yeah.
90%
one
of
was
most
the-
accidents happen from like a trip and fall.
Yeah. And that client with the, you know, I'm like, you should have told me his blood sugar had gone up, because I would have just said, let's not work out today. I would have just said that, because I would have known that any sort of exertion would have done something to that, you know, to his glucose. So, yeah. It's a tough one. And you know, the thing is the other thing is that sometimes people walk in here and they fill out a health history form, and maybe they don't go to doctors. So they might have high blood pressure, walking around with high blood pressure.
Or maybe they lie.
Yeah, or they don't know about it. So that's the other thing. So you always have to, you know, if people are fainting all the time, you know, things like that, you know, you gotta kind of do some investigation, you know, what's going on.
And there's a fine line there too. I mean, you ask all those questions, and then you actually actually makes you a little more liable, because if you know about it, then you have a different duty of care. So some studios say you're not supposed to ask. You're supposed to say if you have any of these health issues, but you're not supposed to tell them what to do, or if they ask, because if you know, then your duty of care goes up. Yeah. It's a liability issue, which I think is an uncaring way to teach a class. Yeah. But it's all, everybody's afraid of getting sued.
Most liability insurance makes you have people fill out a health history form. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that studio's doing, but.
Oh no, I don't mean health history. I mean asking specifically in class and giving a modification. Oh, you have this, and you should do it this way, individualized, because then you raise the duty of care for that person, because you said, well, I acknowledge you have this, and this is the way you need to do it. You shouldn't ask in, you know, I don't know that makes sense.
It's really crazy, because if they filled out a health history form,
you know anyways.
They're going to go back and look and say, yeah, you knew that this person had this and you didn't give the option. Right.
I agree. That doesn't make sense. But if there's a lawsuit, then they will say you had this knowledge, so you have a higher duty of care. Then if someone just came off of the street in your class and you have 20 people and you don't know, then you don't But if this person, you can work,
Saying that's why I gave them a modification.
Yes,
The onus
yes.
is on them.
Well, I think you should ask as many questions.
Very blurred line.
It is a blurred line. Are we ready?
Okay. All right.
We're ready?
We are ready. Are we ready to record?
Let's do it, Terry.
All right. Wait for the bell to ding. All right, good evening, class. I'm Terry. This is going to be a swing type restorative class. I want you to come up to your swing here. And then I just want you to feel the swing, feel the fabric, and kind of see where it hits on you. You want it to hit a little below the knees, maybe about mid-shin. We're going to be doing mostly on the floor, but that's where we want to do it. And we're going to keep it in the tight weave, which is maybe going to put a little more pressure on your limbs or on your muscles. So just be aware of that. If you feel some pinching, just notice it. If it's extreme pain, then you can back away. We're going to start class in a seated position. So let's just come down on your mat in front of I'm going to be facing you, but I want you to come in front so the back of your swing is up against hitting your back. Now we're not in our swing yet. Let's come to a cross-legged seated position here. This easy seat here. Just kind of check in and make sure that you don't have too much pressure or pain coming from your knees. Let's take a deep breath in and out. And then I want you to reach up, grab hold of the swing, and grab and put it right about where your bra is. I'm going to just flip, even though I'm twisted here, I want to show you. It's going to be in a high point of the bra and up underneath your arms. You may feel some pressure here, and that's okay, but this is also going to make you feel nice and tall. It's going to get you want to grow our spine, pulling our crown up to our head, and this is going to help assist that. So before we get into too much here, and I want everybody to kind of close their eyes. Start to bring your attention into the room. Bring some stillness to your body, some stillness to your mind. Start to deepen your breath. Maybe a little longer inhales, longer exhales. Sinking your sit bones as we pull up the crown of our head. Getting some length in the spine here. Feeling the weight and the feel of the swing on you, knowing that it's supporting you. It's going to be here with you in class to support you, so just notice how that feels. Take a couple more breaths in and out, and then let's slowly flutter our eyes open. I want you, before we go further, just kind of look up and make sure that you're centered between the two lines above. That's the plumb line. That's where we want to be in poses, where we want to start to make sure we're not swaying too much and we have good alignment here. Let's take a big breath in and exhale. Now let's take our feet in front of us and bring our soles of our feet together. Our little pinky toes are touching the mat. Soles of our feet are pressing together here in this bound angle pose. Let's breathe in and get nice and tall. And then on an exhale, take your hands very gently. Just press the knees open just to that point of resistance. We're not going to force anything. Keep sure you're breathing nice and big. If it starts to release, on the exhale, you can press a little further. Just remember that deeper is not necessarily better here. We want to find your edge, that place of growth. If you push too far, your body's going to lock down, and we don't want that. A couple more big breaths here. And then on an exhale, let's go ahead and extend our legs long in front of us. Our toes are facing up to the ceiling. Feet are flexed here. I want you to ground your sit bones, both sides of your sit bones equally here, so make sure you're even. A really good way to do that is just take your hands right on those cheeks there and just pull them apart. You can feel the sit bones kind of settling that way. Take a big breath. Make sure you're not locking out your knees. Let's take our hands on an inhale and make fists. You can tense your hands if you want. I have a wrist issue, so I'm going to use my fist. Take an inhale, get nice and tall. Make sure you're breathing. Feel the swing pulling you and supporting your back, getting you nice and tall. A couple more breaths. It's really good to stretch the back of the legs and the spine here. And then exhale and soften and release. Let's take an inhale. Let's lift our arms up over our head. And on an exhale, bring your hands in front of you, bringing the crown of your head to where the wall and the ceiling meet in front of you. That's the angle we're looking here for. Our spine and our neck are nice and long. Our knees have a soft micro bend in them. We're extending our back, our gaze is down. Breathing, pulling our belly button back to our spine. Take a couple breaths here. It softens. You can go a little further, not pressuring it. Breathe into my back. There you go. Really nice, really nice. Let's release that. Just keeping our arms in here. I'm going to put mine in to show you what we're doing here. Before we go, I was going to go take us back into a chair next, but before we do, we've been bending over. Let's just kind of lean back. Let the weight of the swing support you. Just kind of stretch there. Nice, big, yummy stretch. Breathe. Big sigh out. And then let's pull ourselves back up using our core, grabbing hold of the swing first. Let's bend our knees, bring our soles of our feet to the mat, then carefully just use your feet to walk yourself back behind you. Now, I'm not going to be able to come all the way back because I'm too close to the mirror here, but you want to walk yourself back, bring yourself up, and then inhale, and then sit your hips down. I'm supposed to have this behind me, but I'm too close. Down into a chair. Pull yourself down a chair. Make sure you look to make sure that your knees are not above your toes. You can still see your toes. Your back is straight. Push. There you go. Make sure, let's come up. Use your abdomen to pull yourself up a little bit into a chair. So we're going to come up more like a chair. Can you do that? There you go. There you go. Hold on. Breathe. Really those legs and those quads. Our toes should be facing forward. This becomes too intense. You can use your arms to pull yourself up into the swing and release that a little bit. And then when you're ready, inhale, exhale, and just bring yourself back down into your chair. Couple breaths. And then we're just going to walk ourselves back in. Lift yourself up. And then using the swing, like I said, I don't have enough room here, but walk your feet back in. Lay your legs down. And I want you to let go of the swing and come down on your back. Bring the swing in front of you. So pull it so it's in front of you. Come down to your back. Use the thing. You can use a swing or you can just use your abdomen. Lay down all the way on your back. I want you to bring your feet into the swing. So just your feet are hanging out. You're right above your ankles here. Bring our arms out to a nice wide T. Allow your spine to sink. Check in with your breath first. Make sure it's nice and big. Inhale, and then on exhale, let's pull our knees in towards our chest. And on an exhale, let's drop both knees towards the right side of your body, keeping your shoulders pinned to the ground. Maybe extending that gaze over the opposite arm. There you go. Can we bring our arms down a little, a little bit there? It's not important that your knees touch the ground. It is important that your shoulders are pinned to the mat. Take a couple breaths, big breaths. Fill up that chest. Inhale.
So they can just, while we're waiting, if they want to.
Yeah, if you want to, I'll counter. I was only going to do one side anyways. Okay, here, let me give this to you. I've never wore one of these before. I didn't mean to drop it on my student's pen. I was nervous.
The only reason you got nervous is when you went back up.
I couldn't back up and I wasn't sure how to show you how to get in the
And
chair.
that's when I kind of lost it when I couldn't get it. And
Yeah.
that's when
That's what I
you
said.
were
I said,
right,
just
you
turn
got
yourself
up out
around
of
and
it
do the same direction as the student.
Good. Did this, you got up immediately and helped me and yeah. Speaking in front of your peers in the 8th grade.
right, so
first
again,
time
it was
that I had to
Terry's
do that corporate over
first
here.
time. And we did we get Jody a clap?
Yeah,
Jody,
yeah,
okay.
we did.
Let's give Terry a
Snaps
clap.
all around.
Snap, snap,
Snaps.
snap.
Wow, and a
Claps
snap.
and snaps, snaps. So legally blonde thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so really great. I mean, you announced that we were doing low swing. You talked a little bit about the swing and the touch points, all that sort of stuff, so that's nice. I always think about working on that beginning of class spiel, right? Which,
Yeah,
you know,
Dave made it pretty short, cause I
yeah.
said it.
Yeah,
Have
we
everybody
didn't
do what
say,
they
we
were
didn't
doing.
require that, but do always think about how you're gonna start your class. Getting into, the high back point was really good. You know, you had everybody come down. I liked how you centered everybody at the beginning of class before we really even got into the swing. Focused on the breath, the alignment of the body. And then you got them nice and easily into the high back point. You really connected the breath with the movement. You used the word like support, which I think is a very nice word for the swing. The swing's giving you the support. You checked in with the center line to make sure everybody's in the center line. Bound angle pose, we talked about it again. And it's that idea of push and pull, pushing the knees down. I a lot of times will say just let the weight of the arms help to assist
And that's what I
the hips
normally
open.
say in a class, is just not to
Yeah.
put any pressure, just let the weight, but I
Yeah.
couldn't reach my arms very well.
Yeah.
So I couldn't put the weight on, so I wasn't sure how to say that.
Then don't.
Then
Say,
just
if
don't
the
say
hands
anything.
don't reach, let gravity do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that would be a
Yeah.
better way to do it, okay.
Pushing down on the knees can really hurt someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your setup for your forward fold was really good. The one thing I would say, make sure you're cueing that the shoulders are coming down in that seated position, because over time, as people are in there, this starts to happen, and especially in the forward fold, so that would be one thing. But you did a really nice job of giving out and adjusting Dawn,
Yeah.
right? So that was good. You know,
Watching your students.
watching your students.
Yeah, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes,
And you did a counter stretch, which was
Yes.
really nice, you know,
Mhm.
using that and then using your core to get back up. So the one thing we
I
would
got lost
suggest
with the
you,
chair when I
yes,
couldn't find
so
it.
just like with Don, we said, just get out of it. Turn yourself around and go the same way that they are. You don't
Oh,
have to
that's a good
face
idea.
them.
You'll see
You could have
them.
just stood
You'll
up
see
and
them
said,
in the mirror.
okay, I'm gonna come back with you guys. And actually, that probably would have helped Jody, because
Yeah,
she would have
because
then mimicked
Yeah.
exactly what you
She
were
could
doing.
have gone further and
Yeah.
got
That
into a
makes
better
sense.
chair.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay.
So that's if you find that something's in your way, just do it the other way,
Yeah.
right? Or just get out of it. Yeah, don't force yourself to try and to make yourself go into the pose if you're not gonna have room right there. I mean, the thing, you actually could have just leaned up against the wall. It would have been like a chair, you know, like a wall sit.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why the second time I didn't even get into it, I just went like
Yeah.
this to show them, but I didn't know what to, that was, I
Yeah.
never thought
Yeah.
to turn around.
So yeah, just turn around and be facing the same way, because there's mirrors. Since there's mirrors, I mean, a lot of times, so, you know, like I've been taught most of the time to mirror, right? So I do everything left-handed, even though that's right. But what's nice here is if you have mirrors, it's easier for people to see if they're following the exact same thing you're doing, especially if you're gonna be doing right and left-hand stuff. So you might as well just turn and face the same way that they are. So yeah, that was the only thing I thought I could see. You just got a little like, whoa, wait a second. And yeah, I just stood up, walked around, said, all right, I'm going with you guys. So,
And
yeah.
in some studios, you'll see, I mean, our Seminole studio, the hammocks don't all face in the same direction. We have hammocks in the middle that face each other, that are perpendicular compared to the other ones.
Okay.
So I've learned to like cue, maybe I'll say, if I'm in a middle hammock, I'll remember to use the right and left term versus in front and back, versus walking towards the parking lot, walking towards the back of the
yeah.
studio, because that's different for other people.
Oh, gosh, yeah, I
Yeah.
bet that's
So you
different,
gotta get
yeah.
creative.
You gotta
And
get
then
used to
come out.
directions.
Mm-hmm. Come
Yeah.
out of it, adjust, flip, so you can see better. Lots of times I'll flip when I'm in those middle hammocks. I'll go to one side, I can see everybody more on one side. When it comes time to go to the other side, man, I can't see anyone, I'll turn around, then I can see everyone.
Overall, it was really good.
Yeah.
Nice, really nice sequence.
And you're gonna be a phenomenal teacher.
That's right.
Thank you.
And now that she knows,
Yeah.
and now that she knows
Yeah.
that she can repeat things.
Yeah.
I have loved the aerial training, don't get me wrong, I've loved every minute of it. That is the best thing I've done.
Now
You
your
have to
whole
make a think that sense of relief, right? The whole body and mind just go hallelujah.
Holy cannoli, that's.
All right,
great.
last but not least, we've got Lynn. Oh, I'm gonna,
Your man's all warm, Lynn.
so if you wanna pin that somewhere on
Just
here.
don't drop it on your student's head like I did.
Oh, it wasn't even close.
All right, I guess
I
we're
don't
gonna
know,
type,
maybe I'll
yeah,
put
or
it
if you
down.
can hook it on
Maybe,
your.
I don't know, I'll figure it out. Maybe.
All right.
Increment.
Do you mind putting the phone on? Oh, yeah.
All right.
Day late, dollar short.
Yeah.
All right, are we all set for Lynn? All right.
I feel like I've never taught before. So, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our low swing yoga class. My name is Lynn. I would like for you to all start in the front of your swings. We're just going to come to the center and starting with our mountain pose. So just to ground yourself, check and see that you're under your plumb line, which is right between your chains. And just bring your feet, all four corners, rooted to the earth. Drop the shoulders down the back, externally rotate the shoulders, bringing your palms forward. Lift up through the quads. And take a nice deep breath, extending up through the crown. Now inhale, reaching up, bringing your arms out and around behind your swing. We're actually going to go into our bucket seat. So I want you to find the front of your fabric, actually, bringing your arms inside, finding the front of your fabric. Where it's laying. Good. Once you've found the front edge of your fabric, maybe grab it in for about, 3, 4, let's say 5. 5, because you want plenty behind you. We're going to come back, just step back, finding the fabric hitting your legs. Reach behind you, grabbing the back of your fabric, creating that seat, bringing it out to angel wings, and then you can just gently sit down and bring it front. Now I've actually folded mine over. If that happens to you, you can bring it out. Coming into your comfortable bucket seat, right under your plumb line, and bringing your palms to heart center. Okay, so in this position, you can go ahead and continue with that nice deep belly breath. Just grounding yourself, lifting up through the crown. Big inhale, reach for the sky, extend, and as you exhale, twist to your right, opening your arms out wide, gazing over your right shoulder. If you like, you can bring your arms in and hug your silk. Maybe keeping one arm extended, or you can bring both arms in. Opening up that right shoulder. It's a twist at the navel point. One more deep breath here. And if you're hugging that silk, release. Inhale, reach for the sky, bring it back to center. Next, exhale, twisting to your left. Gazing over your left shoulder and hugging your silk. Sitting up nice and tall. One more breath. And release. Inhale, reach for the sky, bringing it back to center. And palms back down to heart center. Okay, so from this point, go ahead and walk it back, maybe just a little bit if you need to, and then we're just going to go into our basic child pose. Just forward fold, and maybe drop the chin.
Okay, I'm having a little difficulty with this.
With your forward fold?
What am I doing wrong?
You're not doing anything wrong. You're just forward folding and allowing your body, basically you're just coming into a little tuck because it's a little different in your child's pose here in your bucket seat. So nice big inhale, and as you exhale, lift your gaze, bring it all the way back up. Good, that's good. Now we're gonna reach behind us. We're gonna actually go fully into our fabric. So you want to bring it back, grasping the back of the fabric, finding your edge, and making sure that your head is covered, okay? And then you can lay back into it and bring your feet inside the fabric and extend all the way out. So you're fully supine with your arms extending behind you and your legs out in front. Your feet are inside the silk, your arms are inside the silk. And I want to look and see, what do we got? Okay, good. From here, if you'd like, we can actually go into our crescent moon. So big inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to bend right. You're bringing your feet and your hands as if they're being pulled by a string toward one another. And then release back to center. Inhale, exhale, bend left. And then back to center. And when you're comfortable with that, you can move side to side, just moving gently with your breath. As you stretch all through the side, you're actually stretching through your hip flexors, your obliques, your rib cage, your lats, and you're stimulating your internal organs, kidneys, liver, heart, and lungs. Now bringing it back to center. Nice big inhale, and as you exhale, turn to your right side, as if you're going to lie on your right side in your bed, but your arms are extended still. So maybe your ear is on your arm. Everything's still completely inside the silk, and now we're going into our forward fold. Nice big inhale, exhale, fold. Get your toes and reach for your toes. See if you can bend all the way and touch those toes, and then open back up and give yourself some extension here, some spine extension. Reaching back, big inhale, exhale, bend and fold. And release and extend. And bringing it back to center. And now we're going to roll it all the way over to our left side and get the other side. Bringing a little bit of balance. When you're on your left side, nice big inhale, exhale, forward fold. Reaching for those toes. And then gently moving with your breath, coming back into your spine extension. Big inhale, exhale, fold. And returning to that extension. And back to center. All right, coming all the way over into your belly. And let's bring our head out of the silk so I can see everybody. So you're just going to peek out. And bring your arms out. And you're going to bring it to just the armpit point. So it's right across the ladies, right above them. So everything's in there. And bring your palms to the mat. We're going into our front plank. If you're able to get those forearms on the mat, and do the Sphinx plank first. Bringing your shoulders directly over your elbows, natural extension of the head and neck. You're pulling the chin back. Palms are on the ground, fingers are spread wide. Nice big inhale, and as you exhale, lift. You're lifting up through the center of the spine, up through the center of the chest. So pull your chin back on. So, and your gaze is at the mat, your drishti is at the mat. Pull up through your navel, Terry. And you're in full plank, that's okay. Nice big inhale, and as you exhale, let's all bring those palms, release, and pull those palms just under your shoulders. And we're going to go into our full plank. Here we go. Nice big inhale, exhale, push right through the center. Or you can bring both hands to fist. That way you're equal. You're pressing down into the top of the feet, lifting up through the center. Natural extension of the head and neck. The gaze is at the mat. And then exhale, gently release.
Very
Nice
good.
job, Ed.
Very good. Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just too low.
And tell you, it's difficult being in the swings completely and teaching it. I would prefer teaching that out here.
Out.
Because when you're in that open fabric and you just can't see.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Alright, I can tell you're a seasoned yoga instructor by the way you keep it.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can talk.
You want me?
Oh, so again, yay!
Yay!
Alright.
Yes, I agree with Jody. You can tell that you're a seasoned instructor. It's nice. Your introduction, your grounding was beautiful. I love your mountain cues. I might steal a few and start using a few of those because that was a really nice start. It really did center everybody, got everyone ready for what was coming. Yeah, so I agree with that. Coming into the full hammock, right? It can be super tricky. Maybe when coming into that full hammock, fanning it out first might be the better option.
Yeah.
That way people aren't
Or
struggling
even
trying
turning
to find
towards
that
it,
edge.
fanning it,
That was
holding it
like
with
the
that
most
hand,
nervous part
and
of
then
my
turn
whole thing. I was
around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
it's
So,
true.
so what you're saying is to do this.
Fan that
Yeah,
out
then
first,
I actually
hold
meant
on
to
to the
do-
edges
okay.
and then turn around.
Okay,
Well,
I
that
just
might
wanted
also
to-
do too, because
I
you know they're
totally
gonna have
meant
to
to do
walk
that.
back.
I did.
You know they have to walk back. I'd even fan it out back here,
Yes,
so
yes.
then we don't even have to remove much,
Yes.
you know, and then they can just grab it and take a seat right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Same
you can
fabric.
also even find the opposite edge while you're standing in front of it. Hold on to that,
Yeah.
bring the other arm through, turn around, and then open up your angel wings
Yeah,
behind
angel.
you.
I meant to do.
And
Oh,
then
like
sit
this.
back into that, yeah.
You just hold the back
It's
of it, so
tricky.
it's gonna drop around you.
It's tricky.
Then, yeah, you can
Yeah.
just sit right into it.
Open hammock is tricky in all kinds of ways. You can, it's, yeah, it can be strange, for sure. But yeah, those are some options.
Yeah, as soon as I sat. It's too late. Just keep going with that.
This technically isn't child's pose. I would have had to do,
A
you
forward
know,
fold.
maybe straighten out the legs to more like a forward fold, because yeah, she was like, what's been, this might be a little too deep.
Jody was in crow.
Yeah, Jody came into crow. So, yeah, so she was not quite, you know, cause you're like, oh, you'll get your hands down, and so she was like, so that's, you know, watching the students, cause they were like, oh, Jody's doing crow back there.
Hey, Jody.
And the thing is that this is really deep hip, even though you are supported.
Yes.
This is
It can be
maybe
a
really
little bit too awkward for
uncomfortable for people.
Okay.
So, you know, probably giving them the option to maybe straighten the legs out a little bit and then come forward, almost like a bent knee forward
Yeah.
fold.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it was just, yeah, it was a little awkward. That was
Yeah.
the only thing. And then, yeah, we were just, we were like, I was like, oh, Jody's.
I was like, okay, well, let's move on from that. We're not gonna do.
Oh, yeah, that was one of those times where it's like, okay, we're gonna move on.
Yeah.
I liked your crescent moon,
Oh, thank you.
but describe it more, right? Because not everyone knows what crescent moon is. I know what crescent moon is because I've done my
Okay.
yin certification.
Yeah,
So I know how to come into like the banana and the crescent moon. Again, Jody was piking.
So she was like, coming in,
Jody
yeah.
was just doing her own class.
But I don't blame Jody because maybe you
Do you
don't
listen to
know
your
what a
teachers?
crescent moon is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just giving it a little more description.
Okay. All right.
So the student knows what to do.
Yeah.
And also full hammock for side planks. It's probably best to pop the shoulders out and get the head out.
Which I
And
did
then
do a
move
side
through
plank.
your side planks with the upper body out. Because when
But
you're
I
completely
did do a
in
side
there,
plank.
you really can't see anything.
Yeah,
And then
she
it might
didn't
be
do a-
really
she
hard
didn't
to.
do a side
I did
plank.
a
Side
side
bend.
plank.
She was doing a
She was
side
just doing
bend.
that, she was,
I just did
Crescent.
forward bends.
We did crescent,
I did crescent, and then we did forward bends.
and we did forward bends.
And then I came to front plank.
yeah.
I didn't do any side
Oh,
planks.
okay, so the forward bends, pop the upper body out. And then do your forward bends with your upper body out, like Emily taught in the class the other
Emily
day.
actually had us doing it fully in with our arms
Yes,
extended,
it was in your
toe
front and
toes,
next one,
into
yes.
toes.
I had my
She
arms
did that
out
our
in the
first night.
hammock. I don't think I've ever
I don't
practiced
know, but
in a
that's-
hammock like that.
That's why I did it. The plank I had come out over, I was gonna do the side plank, but it was cutting into my arm so much, I didn't do the side plank. at
Right,
all,
if
but-
it doesn't feel good for you and you don't wanna teach it,
Yeah,
then
so I had
don't.
practiced it, earlier, and I was like,
Mhm.
and I can do the side plank too, just to
Yeah,
reflect.
I don't know, when it comes to those kinds of poses, I feel like bring the upper body out.
But, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
Maybe
or
I
at
just
least
did
you
that.
bring your upper body out so I can see what everybody's doing,
That's
yeah.
the
Yes.
thing, yeah.
And that's what you
Yes.
probably discover, when you teach in the full fabric, it's a whole
It's
new
the-
ballgame.
yeah.
It's kind of like, this is just something, it's like teaching blind.
It is.
Right.
It really is. You can't see
'Cause
what.
I'm so used to seeing everyone, and so
Yeah,
I
or
actually
it's-
considered
yeah.
teaching out, but I thought, but you've never taught this before, you
Yeah.
have to be in it, so I'm like,
So,
And find that you're more
Mhm.
comfortable with one way over another, depending on what you wanna teach that night and your
Yeah.
schedule to teach. But yeah, you'll find that sometimes there are days when I see that it's a full class and I'm like, yes, I don't have to go into a hammock.
well, I'm usually the opposite. I do like to have a
I
swing,
mean, I
but
do
it's fine.
too,
Yeah.
but there are times when I'm really
Yeah.
tired.
All right, so how does everybody feel about the feedback? We weren't
good.
mean.
No,
or-
it's constructive. It's very good.
I hope that it's
Yeah.
informative, I hope
Yeah.
that it helps.
So similar stuff when you come to teacher classes. Of course, it's gonna be a lot longer notes, right? Cause you're gonna be going for about an hour, but you're gonna find, so we've given you some feedback, so what we would hope is that now within, maybe let's say you decide to start teaching in, so many weeks or maybe a month or two, that feedback that we gave you today, you apply to your first class. We don't expect the first class to be like, woohoo, everything's perfect, right? So then after that class, we'll give you some more feedback, and then the next class you teach, adding on to that. So the idea is that you're learning along the way, and you're taking the feedback, right? So if it's maybe, the feedback is plan out, know the steps of what you're gonna go into, name the pose, that sort of stuff, or speak up a little louder, that sort of stuff. But those are some of your things to focus on. So that, now you kind of know, all right, and you've had the experience now of trying to explain it to people. And so that's the other thing, when you come, if you do come in to do some of your practice hours and you guys can make it, practice with each other, you can walk through, you can talk through things and say, oh, okay, I wanna talk through this sequence with you. And just say, don't say anything back to me, just follow what I'm saying and see if they can follow it, cause that's,
Their movements match
yeah, what you're saying, yeah. And
It
it's
helps
not,
immensely.
it's not always gonna happen. I could say one thing and remember you've got 4, 5 other people in the room and everybody takes in information differently. So it's trying to find out maybe the most universal language to use for people. And it's not always gonna work. I mean, it's like telling the person to stand up taller and you can say it and you can look at them and you can say it and they just sometimes won't do it. So just realizing, but maybe, if you come over and you straighten out their back a little bit, then they understand, oh, okay, they're a kinesthetic learner. They need somebody to give them an adjustment, right? So those are the type of things you'll learn over time.
Yeah.
So we want to close out. Violet wanted to do a little bit of let you get into the swing, however you want to. Do a little meditation to send you guys off, because it's been a long weekend, but just to give you a little bit of love here at the end, right? And Emily does apologize she wasn't here this afternoon. I don't know if you know, but her dad is not doing very well, so she needed to go and be with him, and maybe during this meditation time we send a little bit of prayers towards her.
Yes, we have.
Because she's dealing with some hard stuff now, and we all have a lot of stuff, so maybe just sending love to each other. This was a long weekend, right? You might feel a little fatigued both mentally and physically, so we do want to get you out of here so you can go and recoup a little bit tonight. Like I said, if you want to take the next couple of days and just set the manual off to the side, but I do really encourage you that if you're considering doing the whole certification, the complete certification, you don't let it go too long, even if it's just a little bit this week, looking over poses or something, or thinking about that. We're available through text and email. Emily did want me to tell you that she'll send something out to all of like the group in the next couple days, so just give us a couple days. If you wanted to take, those of you who are here, if you wanted to take a class this week, and there's one in particular, just let us know. She might not get those classes loaded into your system until maybe later this week. But if for some reason you want to come in the next couple days to a class that's on the schedule, just text her and then we can, make sure that gets applied. So again, just, and if you've got, if questions come up, we're, either on the email feed or on the text feed, please feel free to, connect with us, because there's a lot to take in. So you might all of a sudden in a couple of days go, hey, wait, or what about this, or that sort of stuff. And then we'll work maybe in the next, with the communication, then she'll kind of talk about setting up the practice hours for those of you who need to get in.
You're gonna maybe try to email me a link to your video
Yeah,
class.
we'll send you into the classes, and then we'll talk about that too, that maybe we can do a live stream, like if there's a time
Okay.
on the schedule that works for you with one of her classes or, one of the
okay, that'd be
classes on
great.
the schedule. We could just put you on FaceTime,
Yeah.
just like this and let you watch.
And if you do a closed thing on,
On YouTube?
yeah, that would,
Yeah.
then I could possibly pick up on it too. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
so
far
I mean,
away, or-
we could do that with our phones too, or figure that, or we've got the equipment.
Yeah, just
so.
email me whatever, and that way, cause I don't have to be, to watch those classes, I can do them without having to be at the studio. at
Yeah.
the swing,
Right.
Which is not next to my house,
Yeah.
so that'd be great.
So, yeah, and yeah, since you're down in Sarasota area, that makes sense. So why don't you do this, maybe, cause do you need to set up much?
Yep,
or not?
give me just 2
Okay,
minutes.
so if you guys even wanna, like gather your stuff together, or just set off to the side, and then pick a swing, we're just gonna keep them low, so, I mean, I'll take the extra one, yay! Right, and then, yeah, just come, if you want a blanket, if you get, although we seem to be a hot crew here.
We are.
Yeah.
But if, you want a blanket, whatever you, we're
And
gonna
more
go,
ways than
I mean,
one.
we're not gonna go real long, what do you think, maybe like 10
minutes.
10 minutes, just to give you a
I
little
don't wanna
time,
keep
so.
you here.
Yeah,
we
I
should
just
be
want you to
able
relax.
I wanted to invite everybody to my escape room for free.
Ooh, which escape room do you have?
I have 3 in Clearwater and 3 in Largo.
Oh, awesome.
So I wanted to just extend the invitation for you guys
Oh,
for free.
even, I've actually never done an escape room. My kids have done them, but I've never done one. So, cool.
Yeah, that's my cell number at the bottom, so just
Yeah.
let me know and
I have
you
a friend
can
that
for free.
All right, thank you. Yay. Maybe we can do, maybe Violet, Emily and I can come and do one together.
That'd be fun. It's really good teamwork. Escape room is, you get quote unquote locked into a room, although my rooms aren't actually locked. And
Well,
you have-
then what kind of fun is that?
you have 1 hour to solve like
Like a
riddles
puzzle.
and
Yeah.
puzzles and
Oh, oh.
clues to get
Yeah.
out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I have 3 in Clearwater and 3 in Largo. I just wanted to invite you tonight to come back to my room for free.
Violet, did we
escape
have
rooms.
our
Yeah,
just
let me
our
know.
recommended
Come on.
entrance?
That's so sweet of you. Yeah, just let me know and I'll book it for you and your friend or whoever.
She probably doesn't have to stick around for the meditation.
Clearwater. One's in Clearwater, one's in Largo.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
That sounds like something fun to do on a Friday.
Violet, I think you already have this card, don't you?
I don't wanna lose that, so I'm gonna put this in here. Right by my credit card.
You, that's so sweet.
So yeah, make yourself comfy whenever you're ready, or if you want, like I said, have your stuff all gathered together and just get in.
I did not steal your pen.
Okay. You can, that one wouldn't have bothered me.
I
The other one
forgot.
wouldn't have bothered me either, but I didn't even know I had it, so.
Maybe
No, 'cause I
with
think
Emily's
this is
text,
still
we can
there.
coordinate so that we can, do our class stuff together.
Yeah, when I'll be back in
Yeah,
October,
when
but
you're
for when
back.
I'm back, I'll be here for the last half of October, so that's what I thought I'd do, teaching, that'd be great. Do that.
Yeah, and I think you'll really like Joel if you ever make it over to the Seminole studio.
I think I've seen him.
I'm not sure that may be any closer, because he's done stuff.
Yes, it would be.
That's what I thought, that was
Yeah,
closer.
it's right off of Belcher.
maybe if
And
we're
that's with
doing,
bad traffic.
yeah, maybe if we're
Sometimes
doing,
I leave too early.
an observation or something, we can meet up at one of the other studios and then go to lunch.
I mean, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Lynn, did you get my card from my escape room? Did I give you one?
No, and I friended everybody on Facebook, I think,
Oh,
except you,
good.
because you weren't here.
I don't have a Facebook,
You
I read,
accidentally did something and you were.
No.
Oh.
I am trying to use the computer verbiage and I wanna make my daughter proud,
Okay,
so give me a minute.
all right.
So you can come for free.
Oh,
Yeah, I invited everybody to come for free.
thank you. Nice.
I accepted your friend request.
Thank you.
So,
You did.
You did. See, Leah, I said it right.
I don't have a Facebook account because, believe it or not, I had a major stalker on
Oh, yeah.
Facebook. She was a girl.
Uh-huh, that's weird.
Oh, no, I would've stopped you.
That was probably traumatizing.
I have mine under my name, which is also.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it could have been.
Well, I didn't use it so much for marketing that I'm public.
Well, I was not either, my only friend is my friend.
I have a phone that's a good
I
friend
didn't
too.
use it, but now that I've got a yoga page, I feel like I have.
Well, the page is public, sure, but like, at first I wasn't, I would go in and every post, I would adjust it, like, oh, this is pictures of me and my kids. You know, I'm gonna make that friends only, you know, everything else was public. Now I'm just tired of doing all that, it's just all public.
That's what I do.
It's just all public.
Yeah, I just don't put a lot of
It's
stuff on
okay.
there that's not
It's
yoga
okay.
related, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a few things, but not do a lot.
So the one scary post that we did for me today was the shoulder stand, with your whole feet up.
Your whole feet?
My shoulders slipped out a tiny bit,
Oh,
and I got really scared.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's my
Speaking of
favorite,
accidents, right, when you asked if you have any accidents, one time I had that happen with a student, she was in that swing, and her shoulder slipped out, and she had those acrylic nails that come to a point.
Oh.
So she, like claws, right, and so she started catching herself, she caught herself, she was okay, a foot but ripped the silk, like her claws went through, and it looked like a claw mark.
It's predator.
Like a yeah, it's like a panther. And yeah, and then and her foot came out to catch herself, so she just stubbed her toe a little bit, you know. And then I followed up with her later. She was just more mortified than anything else, and she felt awful that she, you know, ripped our silks, and her foot was fine. But that was kind of weird, and that shoulder was kind of in, kind of out. That hammer kept creeping out, and it dropped out. So it does happen. And then I've also had this happened after class. That's why it's very important to make sure, like as we said earlier, we don't just allow anyone in here to come and play, you know, like one of us has to be here. Like I feel sometimes uncomfortable being alone in the studio, trying something new without someone else around, just in case kind of stuff, you know, like even that's weird. But also, you don't want your students access to this alone or this happened after class was over, cleaning up. I was distracted, another student was asking me questions, or I was already out of the room when it happened. And I should have gotten everyone out. I had a student teaching another student how to do an advanced pose.
And of course it was done incorrectly.
And she fell out, she broke her shoulder.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The teacher or the one who was trying to teach?
Yeah, I was in the bathroom. I had just come out, class was ended. Everyone was out, like gathering their stuff. No one was in the silks. They got back into the silks. I was distracted by another student because they were asking me questions.
Class was over.
I didn't realize they got back into the silks, teaching each other this pose, and she flipped out and fell out and broke her shoulder. So yeah, I'm very like that. Lots of times you'll see me the moment I walk away. We're done. Okay, we are wrapping this up. You cannot go in there. Next one. Like okay, I'm ushering
That's
people
why
out.
you're always
That's
doing
why I'm
that.
always doing this. Because yeah, it was traumatizing. It was so traumatizing.
Yeah,
to
so we
believe
both
that.
had people break something. And again, it was none of our negligence, it was just an accident, but yeah.
Yeah, like slip out, you know, but usually I'm there to catch them, support them, because I'm spotting them. Or we've got mats down, so they come down onto the mat. It's not that bad. But this was unique. This was a pose that they were teaching each other that we didn't even do in class.
Oh, I saw this on YouTube, I love that.
Joel was teaching me an advanced pose that we didn't do in class, but I stayed after, and he brought like 6 mats. And what were you trying to say, Joel?
Just be safe. Yeah, I mean, Joel's one of my students, so he knows. Like,
She can't drive.
Wow.
But yeah, she's about 68, 70, something like that.
to where the body feels nice and comfortable. If you want to leave your feet out, you can leave your feet out. If you want to come onto your sides, come onto your sides. Heck, if you maybe start with the ankles, soften the ankles. Soften your jaw. Soften the throat. So start by bringing your awareness to the base of your spine. Allow a sense of grounding and connection to fill that space. Feel it residing inside you, warm, heavy, and safe. Now bring your awareness to the area just below the navel. Feel that space begin to soften and become fluid-like. Feel soft and relaxed, as if you're floating on a raft in the middle of that lake. Now begin to bring your awareness to your abdomen. Begin to feel heat in that space. Feel it getting warmer. Feel as if you're lying in a beautiful meadow on a hot summer's day, while the sun shines down its rays upon you. See the yellow of the sun and feel its rays shining down and into your abdomen, heating that space. Feel that yellow heat inside your belly as if the sun itself was inside of you. Now bring your awareness to your heart center.
space begin to grow. Picture that space opening and becoming never-ending, like the universe. Feel as if within your throat there is infinite space to send your voice. Feel like your voice and your breath come from the universe. Picture the blue-black of deep space. And feel a resonance within your throat that comes from the sound of the universe. Let that sound wash over you. Now bring your awareness to the space between your eyebrows. And feel that space begin to vibrate. Feel as if all the tiny nerves at your third eye center have awoken. Feel them come to life and begin to sense everything around you. The smallest movement, the smallest particles. See the color indigo, like a dark, rich, purple lotus flower. Feel its roots deep below your feet in the ground, while its flower blooms in the vibration of the third eye. Reside in that vibration for a moment. Now bring your awareness to the crown of your head. Try to begin to feel and sense everything around you. Feel each and every small sensation. The way my voice sounds, the way the fabric feels against your skin. And then feel the stillness and the quietness of your body. Try to imagine and experience what it may be like to feel everything, know everything, be everywhere all at once, connected. Hold on to this moment. Reside in this never-ending, never-beginning consciousness for a few breaths. And now picture in front of you a beautiful kaleidoscope of brilliant colors, crystallized and ever-changing. Feel its heat and coldness both at the same time. Watch as the colors dance around you until they begin to slow and soften and turn into a warm purple lavender flame. Feel the warmth of the flame. Feel its security, its strength, its love, and its devotion to you. Feel it shielding and protecting you, all the while holding you in comfort like an angel's wings. Let that sensation of love and security wash over you, protect you, keep you safe. Come back to that warm red feeling at the base of the spine again. Feel it begin to move upward, up to the navel as it turns orange. Becoming even warmer as it rises to the abdomen and turns yellow. Feel it breathe alive as it rises to the heart space and turns green. Feel it become infinite as it rises to the throat and turns dark blue. Then feel its energy start to vibrate as it turns indigo and resides at the third eye. And finally, feel it rise up to the crown of the head and feel its energy shower down over you. Let it wash over you. Picture that warm purple lavender flame again. Step back into its sanctuary. Allow it to protect you and keep you safe. Now invite a deeper breath and slowly, gently begin to exit your meditation. Start to come back to the here and now. Maybe wiggle the toes a little bit. Maybe wiggle the fingers a little bit. Maybe roll the ankles a little bit, roll the wrists. Go slow, take your time, there's no rush. Maybe pop the feet out and let the hammocks come to the backs of the knees and let the feet just hang down. Pause for a moment. And then place your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your abdomen. Come back to your breath. Remind yourself whenever you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or anxious, to come back to that sanctuary of that lavender flame. It's always there for you. It will always welcome you. And then maybe roll the wrists out a little more, roll out the ankles a little bit more. And gently come back to seated whenever you're ready. Go slow, take your time. This is another way that we use the hammocks for meditations like this.
That was
They're
very
really
nice.
nice, and they're really yummy, and they're very relaxing.
Especially after a long weekend.
Yeah.
What we did, it's nice to float away like this, and, you know, I hope you enjoyed that.
It's nice hearing a smaller crew, because sometimes on a bigger crew, we're still going through teach outs now and
Yes.
stuff, so this is nice.
Yeah.
So, it's good on here, so. Any last questions, anything? You guys feel prepared to take on the rest of the certification portion? And if you do have questions, do contact us. We'll definitely send out something later in the week, connect with you. We'll get the classes put up there, so when you come back in October, that'd be great.
The only question I have is because this isn't the studio where I am handled. I think I can still do everything the same way, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or she can, hopefully that.
Just don't use the handles.
Just don't use the handles, right.
Yeah, obviously.
For the most part it is, and I don't think that those hammocks are as long, I mean as wide as
I don't
ours.
think they are either.
Yeah, and they don't stretch, I don't think, as much as ours do.
They open up quite a bit in the
They open up,
Okay.
but I wonder if they like, is it the material that contracts and then stretches?
I don't think it stretches as much as a parachute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be probably the only difference. Yeah, but I think most of what I can do, I can do.
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure that's okay.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Well, I'll go home, get something nutritious to eat, get a good night's sleep.
No Snickers bar?
Well, you know, if you want.
I might have a glass of
You
wine.
don't feel like
Yes,
yourself.
I have been having a glass of wine. I have been waiting. I have been waiting for 4 days.
You have to go on an airplane, don't you tonight?
No,
In the morning, my flight's
in
at
the
6
morning.
a.m.
Oh,
So I gotta get up at 4.
Well, that's.
Oh, you'll be fine.
You'll be
Just get
fine.
into your seat, close your eyes, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put your airplane clothes on tonight.
Yeah.
Shower,
It's
airplane
easy,
clothes.
it's an hour and a half direct flight, it's an easy
Yeah,
flight.
so that's the nice thing.
It's just getting up that early, getting an Uber and all.
Yeah, yeah. If you guys don't mind wiping down the mats, that would be nice.
I'm on it.
We'll spray it, and then if you guys wanna come and grab a thing, I'll go through and spray them. So I just kinda wiping them down a bit.
What do you clean them with?
We use like an essential oil, yeah.
Any words for Autumn?
Autumn, I love you.
Bye,
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed your weekend. We'll be in touch.
Yeah, let's let them air out a bit, that's fine. I'll be in tomorrow morning, or I can get you probably in here too.